Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm the Serious Strategy Gamer and we are returning to Hearts of Iron 4. Things are escalating in the war with the Soviet Union, so let's see what we can do. And I want to go through the front line a little bit more systematically, at least initially here, and sort of set us off on a good approach here. So the first thing that you're realizing is we are mopping up the area here around Estonia. I think everything there is fine, so we don't need to be too concerned here. I'm hoping that's all going to work out. Up here in Naval, things are more or less fine. I don't think, again, we don't need to be too concerned. You guys are sort of looping around there. We are going to concentrate a couple of these motorized and armored forces down here in the Pskov area, hoping to maybe achieve a breakthrough. Right now, this really doesn't look like it's going to be going anywhere. So let's briefly stop here with that attack. And have these guys sort of disperse a little bit more. Maybe that is going to be more successful later on, but we'll need to see. Right, then I think there's a bit of a front line here. Nothing too exciting really. This is densely wooded area. I don't want to be too pushy here. That doesn't lead nowhere really. There's this marshland here, so really this area here is not of great importance. We're going to keep an eye on that, but it's not the most important priority. On the other hand, look at this area here around Minsk. I think one of the issues that we have been dealing with our armored forces is we haven't really been able to create big breakthroughs. And to me the reason for that is that we've always come under flanking attacks from the side. And I think one of the reasons is that we typically try to achieve some breakthroughs from a position like this, from a very forward position, because it's tempting, because that is so forward you can more easily encircle other units. But then you have these two units on the front line and that sort of doesn't work that well. So I'm thinking what we could do is try to achieve a breakthrough here. We've got a strong concentration of Russian forces here. We've got a somewhat strong concentration here. And then somewhat weaker lines here in the middle. If we can pin in these two groups here on the flanks and then channel all of our motorized forces here straight through Minsk and into the south here, they will meet wide open terrain with a very nice railway line here, and that would potentially allow us to get towards Gomel, towards this railhead here, and even maybe towards the Smolensk land bridge. So that would be great if we could cut then off all of these units here and finally achieve one of the big breakthroughs that I have been dreaming about. So, with that being said, let's stop these attacks here for now, because I think we want to rest our motorized forces here for a second, and basically not have them attack or have them be involved in stupid attacks like that. And the motorized forces again can probably get up here. I've ordered most of my motorized forces and armored forces to come to that place, and I'm kind of hoping that that is going to be alright. So you guys all basically stop, and then we're going to not take you, but that means we only have two divisions. One of these divisions is going to attack right into here, and just to pin them in again, and these two are actually going to attack this group here in the center, and I'm hoping that that is going to be somewhat useful. We don't necessarily need to keep up this attack, but we are going to try to do that anyway. We don't need to attack here. In fact, that's a little bit stupid, so let's instead take these motorized troops and again send them forward a little bit to this place here, and then we can attack into various directions over there. In fact, what we might actually want to do is pull back that to only these two front line positions here, and then all of these troops are going to concentrate on really going there, and I think that is a fantastic idea. Guys, you do not need to conduct any attacks here. I would much rather have you over here and be a little bit more aggressive there. I'm wondering whether we will have enough of these purple troops here to actually sort of cover the entire area that we wanted to cover, but I'm guessing we just have to accept some compromises here. Not all of you need to go to the north here, please. I would very much like for more of you guys here to attack into this southern position, try to overwhelm the Soviets in this particular province here close to Minsk. Then to the south of that, that is going to be mostly sort of minimal attacks that we're going to face here, so I think that is going to be alright. You know what, in fact I think we can... Oh, curious. What we can certainly do is try to occupy this area here. Why not? It's completely unoccupied. Speaking of, you guys could potentially also try to exploit that, so let's try to have you circle around there. And if that's the case, then maybe one of you here should actually do an attack into this swamp here. Maybe this can also be useful to circle around there. Let's see, I don't know. Could be. But I think we can actually take a little bit more of these troops to the north there then. Right, and then the big push here is in the south, where we are hoping to encircle around 20, 23 or so divisions in this area here. Now, there are a lot of divisions that have turned up on this side. There's still one brave Italian division trying to dislodge them, which is not going to work, but you know what? It's nice of you to keep up the hope. And what I don't want to do, though, is support this attack here. This is what we really should try to overwhelm quickly, so that we can then finish them off there in the rear. And then down here we are attacking across this river. Now that's all fine and dandy, but again I think an attack over here might be a little bit more useful, so let's try to support that and be a little bit more aggressive there, while all of our divisions are doing their thing. And that's all very nice. Now there are a couple of other things. We are getting 24 divisions from the Hungarians. Now that's all nice and stuff, but you know what, let's do accept them, but I'm honestly a little bit unsure whether... What's your template here? You guys are artillery heavy. You do like artillery, don't you? 24. What's the AI doing here? And anti-tank. 218 soft attack. That is an amazing group. Wow. Let's get a new army with all of you. You're all of that type. Amazing. Amazing. Okay, I think the likelihood that you guys are gonna be at some point subject to attacks would not be that great. Is rather likely. So okay. And that being said, we should also have a look at these guys here, because we can assign you things, and that is we're gonna definitively go for infantry expert. Very good. Infantry division attack plus 10. That's just amazing. That's just really good. You guys don't have anything. You Manstein Fortress Buster, that's nice, but I think again no benefit here. You on the other hand, again infantry, love it. There's no way I'm not gonna pick infantry expert if I can, because even though we have a relatively high armored participation, that is still a good thing for us. Do we want to go for the fort attack or the scavenger? I think Fortress Buster is okay. Let's roll with that. And then I think all of the other guys here are still fine. Now, can you do something? Oh yes, infantry. Infantry is brilliant. Mr. Rommel, do you have any new plans here? No, not quite. Interesting that also that you don't have Panzerleader or anything. Well, we do have a lot of motorized troops. That might be one of the issues. Right, so that's fine. You guys can, for the moment, just go back to Budapest, I think. We are going to keep you in the area, and maybe we're going to do some funny things with you at some point, but not for now. And then the last thing I wanted to show before we really start here is this. So let's look at the air situation. Just a couple of convoys sunk here. Nice. Couple of airplanes lost, but also submarine sunk. Nice. Convoys, but here's the big one. So, destroyer? Destroyer? Look at this one. Look at this one. The British lost 11 destroyers in a battle down here. Love it. I love it. Can't say that all of that is due to our airplanes, but some of it is. So I'm happy. And what I actually should try to do is get another group here of naval bombers, because I think we do have some. So let's pick you guys and let's do some bombardments. Let's go for the English Channel. We'll need to keep an eye on that. But I think it might actually be alright, so yeah. Let's try to do that. And finally, without further ado, let's check on... Oh, doctrine's available. Yeah, that might be air doctrine, right? Interception is kind of nice. Strategic bombing really is not that useful to us right now, so we can pretty much ignore that. And at that point, we're going to go back to the attacks here. Right, so this attack is really, in the short run, the most crucial one. The other one is close to Minsk. Ooh, and we do have the medium tank improved chassis. Love it. Okay, let's go to infantry equipment. I would like to get to the MP423. It is a bit ahead of time, but it is super useful also because it does actually provide more piercing. The other thing that we can then do is get an improved tank here. And, unfortunately that does not seem to carry over from our previous tanks, so we basically have to design that from scratch. Is that really true? Can we not create a variant here that is based on the newer version? Can we just not update the chassis? Apparently we can't. Okay, fair enough. Right, so we're going to continue with the gasoline engine. We are going to go for Christie suspension because you guys need to be at least 12 kilometers per hour. I think welded armor is still a perfectly fine compromise. And what we did over here is we did pick the high velocity gun. Improved high velocity gun, there we go. You do have a medium turret. I think a 2-man turret is the best compromise. This does provide you a little bit better breakthrough, but at increased cost and more importantly at lower design speed. So that's not what we're going to do. We are going to give you sloped armor. We are going to give you a radio. Let's actually put the radio into this slot because I don't know whether there might be some bonus basically. And sloped armor, there we go. And then what else are we going to do? I think the squeeze port adapter, but again that should actually be over here, right? Just so that we are consistent. So the secondary turret is not useful, but the secondary, no, sorry, it's special modules. Stabilizer, oh, that's new. Breakthrough 5. Or just a little bit more defense and soft attack. Well, breakthrough, that's a very significant improvement in that. So let's actually do that. Then we're going to bump up the speed to a point where you're running at least 12 kilometers per hour. And we're going to bump up the armor a little bit because evidently we do have enough reliability here to be able to do that. Although we don't really have enough army experience to actually get this thing rolling. So how about this? It's a no, we don't. Again, we don't have enough armor. Ah, Jesus. It's so close. So very close. Okay, we're gonna call this one the Panzer IV. I know this is not quite. It doesn't quite fit with what we're doing here, but I think it's the best way to keep them apart for the future. So let's pick this one. I think that's perfectly fine. We're gonna save that, and that's fine. And then we're gonna retire, decommission the Panzer III here, which does mean that we're gonna be told that this Panzer III here, of which we're currently producing 2.7 per day, is going to be... Ooh, we can of course try to convert a couple of these guys first, but I think we're just gonna straight out remove that and pick the Panzer IV here. Yeah, we did lose quite a bit of the production efficiency, but it is going to go back, so I'm not too concerned here. Should be fine. Right, let's go back to these battles here. We are being attacked over here, that doesn't matter too much. This one is really the one where I want them to fall and fall quickly. There we go. Is anyone going here? Yeah, you guys are. That is going to be fantastic. That would be a super nice win. Right, we are seeing some movement over here. Nothing too drastic for the moment. You guys are still moving out. That's fine. We have reduced this pocket, or turned this into 2 pockets, which is fine. Let's make sure that we are attacking over here if we can. You guys can actually support this attack instead of staying around a little bit sheeply over there. Right, come on. Yeah, there we go. Okay, we have moved in with a Gebirgs division here, which does mean we can now try to move in against all of these guys here. We're going to attack from here as well. We can't. Okay, fine, then we're going to go down there. And you guys are now moving stupidly around all of this. So let's actually try to get around like that. And have some of our motorized troops attack into their side here. For now, these attacks don't look too good, but I think they are going to actually turn out fine. Because they're going to... Well, I'm hoping at least that they're going to fall under the pressure of everyone attacking from sort of different directions here. So let's try to do that. Okay, the first guy here has already been kicked out, but you guys at least seem to be somewhat strong, so I'm hoping at least that you're gonna hold that position. That would really be crummy if you didn't. So let's hope that you do. How's the situation looking around Minsk? We are keeping these guys here in place, but what we really do need to do is get more attack power here onto this central location now. What are you guys doing? Why are you doing that? Why would you be doing that? 29%. You need much more reinforcements here. Okay, you guys did manage to defend over here. That's nice to see. And you guys are coming down there. That's all good, but really the big issue is we need more soft attack on this target here. I suppose we can try to move in with a couple of motorized forces into Minsk. You know what? Let's actually grab all of these guys here. All of the ones that are currently here, maybe except you, are going to actually attack into Minsk, where we're going to leave at least like 2 units. Then you're going to move further up, further up, further up. We're going to see whether that will work. So we're at 82 now, but we do need to bring these guys actually into the battle, which is going to be a slight challenge here. Right, battle up here still looking not too great actually. We do need to send more reinforcements here, I suppose. You guys are all being allocated to different parts of the front, but I'm not going to complain about that. No, 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 I won't. I do, however, hope that more reinforcements are being sent towards down here, because it is starting to look a little bit like we truly need them. And I really, really do not want to have all of these units break out all of a sudden. These guys should hopefully fall soon. I know we are at a somewhat slower pace here, but I do hope that, you know, this is the invasion of the Soviet Union. It's okay, I think, if that is a little bit slower. This is the big event. Historically, one of the biggest front lines, and certainly one of the most devastating costs of human lives. That sounded more more happy than I should be about that fact. Do excuse me, it is only a game after all what we're playing here. Right, 89% here, but none of these guys have retreated yet. We do need to keep a very close eye on the front, on the sides there, and here we are. We finally got enough troops into here to support that defense. So let's actually try to support these attacks too. That should be fairly nice. You guys can attack. You guys are in fact already attacking. Good. I think this should principally be enough to actually overwhelm them in both of these places very rapidly. And at that point we should be seeing a lot of good things happening for us. Slight bulge here, nothing that we can do too much about. But I'm again mostly concerned about the situation here in Minsk. Very strong forces here on either side now. How did the situation look in the south here? Where we did have that one unit that could potentially break through. Yeah, looks like it kind of met some resistance now. So that obviously isn't great. Yeah, don't do that. That's a waste of manpower. What we can, however, try to do is overwhelm them in this location. Because it does seem a little bit like that might be a vulnerable spot to them. Okay, we have one over here now. That's great. That's great. That's the big thing that we really, really wanted. Okay, they do have troops in Minsk. They don't have that many troops down here in the south, or at least they have been beaten. But by the way, I'm really impressed, A, by the fact that they are still able to do these side attacks here, these flanking attacks. They're going to lose these fairly quickly, I hope. But also that they do keep some troops in reserve. We're going to try to overwhelm them. This is only a garrison division, remember that. This is not a big push here. You guys try to attack these guys in the south there. I don't want to give them any rest if we can avoid that. Also, you guys can double up in on this attack here. And maybe, just maybe, we can really, really exploit this breakthrough. That would be such good news. Yeah, we are seeing supply issues already at Minsk, but we have beaten them there, I think. Have we? Curious, because I did not see... I'm not sure what that tank did. Okay, also, these guys have one over here, so we need to go back to pinning them in. Because 96%? Come on, finally we need to be able to do something with our superior speed here. Okay, let's not get tunnel vision. Okay, everyone else here seems to be doing fine. You have finished up the battle in Estonia. That means all of our armies are being shifted a little bit to the south, but principally that's fine. Evidently you did win there, so try to exploit that. We are being attacked here. You are moving in some Mongolian units? Is that it? I don't know. Right, this front line is stable. You guys are finishing them off here. That is nice. And we are in an okay position there. But I'm kind of worried here about the 2nd Panzer Corps. You guys have very low supply. You're not making any big progress. How's our supply situation looking? Yeah, it is kind of worrisome. Okay, maybe guys, can we go back to... Can you go for some rest and repair? I think that would be a good thing for you guys to do. Look at all of the equipment that you're missing and stuff. Interesting, I didn't know we could do this. We're gonna do that, of course. We're gonna give you the high motorization priority on these Panzer Corps. Hopefully that's gonna provide a little bit more supply, it's gonna replenish you a little bit, and then we have the renewed strength to actually strike at the enemy there. And also at that point we might double up on the success that we might have over here, if in fact we do have any success. Right, we've got another army group here. We're just going to assign someone to that. Preferably an infantry general. Don't think we have one yet. So, yeah, in that case, Fitter, you're the man. Also, let's get you guys to maybe Vienna, just so that you don't sit on any supply lines going east. But we still have an armored presence here, just in case we create any breakthrough. That being said, I don't see any viable breakthrough there for the moment, so let's instead focus on the attack in Minsk, which evidently is somewhat failing. Okay, let's get all of you guys to attack towards the south here, and then we need to actually check. So the 10th Panzer and 949. 10th Panzer, that's you guys. Let's also double in on this attack. And the 949, right? You guys also try to attack towards the south here. And then the 9592. Now I just want to make sure that we're grabbing some guys here from... who are not currently involved in the fight, because otherwise that might be a little bit difficult. And we really do need a great success here, and I'm very worried about these tanks here in Minsk. Yes, cities are not tank territory, but I am concerned. I'm very concerned that we are getting stuck in all of these fights, and that's because the AI has finally learned to use some reserves. Note that we have, of course, I mean, the AI has been bumped up in this completely, so it's not a big surprise that they should be they're receiving so many bonuses here that it's really not kind of funny. But yeah. Okay, we are coming under attack here, and it doesn't seem like we're going to be holding in that place. But that's actually an interesting thing to consider too. Lots of units over here. Lots of units that we could potentially be flanking, but we're currently not. Maybe we're gonna actually win in Minsk. The issue is really that tank. That tank has a lot of organization. We don't really have the capabilities here to pin in these guys. So this is not going to succeed. Also, guys, I'm not entirely sure what your point here is. This attack is not going to succeed. Maybe if some of these guys were to actually leave, we could dream about overwhelming them here. You know what? Let's try that. Let's try that exactly. So we are gonna try to attack here on all of these positions and hope at least that we can get them to encircle these like 10 units. The other stuff down here in the south has been completely finished, so that is lovely to see. But maybe we should actually take these guys here and rail you guys back. You know what? Let's rail you back to Krakow. Get a little bit less of a supply issue there, and maybe that's going to be useful. And look at that! They're supporting Minsk with so many troops that we really don't have the strategic depth to even where we overwhelm them. It's not a complete overwhelming attack. It's only able to pin them in for some time. They're reinforcing. They have deep lines. They have deep lines. No. Like that. I think at this point actually our bigger hope is a breakthrough here to the south of Minsk, rather than Minsk itself. And it's to a large extent that tank that is blocking us in. Could try to attack Naval here. Naval does have a lot of land fortifications actually. How likely are we to succeed with an attack on Naval? We've got the combat width. I think we have enough power here to overwhelm them and still do some good. So let's try to do that. In that case, our lines up there should be pretty short too. And that will concentrate everyone a little bit more towards the south. But I think on the net, there's going to be more of us. It's going to be better for us than it's going to be for them. Right, okay, so you guys have lost over here. That's a lot of units here, and a lot of them are actually going north. So let's try to avoid that happening. And try to do more attacks here across the entire line, simply so that we are preventing more troops from advancing anywhere, including Minsk or the place south of that. And that does include this position here. Come on, 89%. Just kick out these two units and the last will fall very quickly. They're actually seeing some supply issues here for the first time. That's good to see. That's very good to see. And I'm thinking that at this point we should actually try to grab the 12th Panzer. Actually, both of these Panzer divisions. Okay, both of these Panzer divisions. You're going to go south and then you're going to try to loop around. We still have a lot of infantry here and a lot of motorized infantry, which probably is also starting to look a little bit dubious whether we should use them. So, can we pick... No, I can't pick that from here, can I? Okay, so you guys, I think, are involved in that fight, but then not really. So, let's bring you south. This is, again, the one breakthrough that we are getting here. And we're going to move right into the empty position here. Except maybe with one of you who's going to actually try to flank around there and make this breakthrough here a little wider. There we go. And already we have been counterattacked. Look at how deep they are. They're positioning their lines. Okay, let's bring more troops forward. You guys are all coming over here. That's kind of all right. Maybe you guys can try to get around like that. We do have a fight over here. Can we win this fight down here? I doubt it. I doubt it. Otherwise, at least it would be a mini encirclement. Although it feels like we really worked hard for this one, and then I'm not sure whether it does work out for us. Because again, the main issue is with this is not that they're particularly successful doing that. The main issue here is that they are slowing us down. Speaking of the air, so maybe we should take at least a couple of you guys and fly towards here. And that might in particular include the recon elements, because I don't want to be surprised like this. Right, come on guys, do join the fight, and that will fight them off a little bit faster. And it's really annoying that they always stop sort of everyone going in there. Okay, finally one over here. That's not looking too bad actually. So what we could do is actually pull further troops to the south or to the north here. And I'm a little bit thinking that we should potentially do it a little bit more like this. So we are gonna grab army, these guys? No, they're too supply heavy. Okay, army number 4, which we are gonna properly rename into some sort of army here. I think 6, it's gonna be the 6th army. You guys are gonna be guarding that area up there. And that does mean that the Heeresgruppe Nord can pull to the south a little bit more. So we are going to grab this and ask you to come towards like this place. Like that? Yeah, that's looking good. Okay, so you guys are now going south. That's fine. You can be actually also assigned to Army Group North. And your job in particular is going to be to guard this front line and develop some sort of plan to advance towards Leningrad, and that's pretty much fine. You're going to come here, I think, via rail, right? Yes, you are. Lovely. Okay, so we are going to send all of these guys north, make this position to the south here a little bit stronger, and that is a-okay. But again, and look at this, they are actually flanking around here, which is so annoying. Maybe one of you guys, can you actually attack into this place there? Yes, this is the swarms, but it might actually be very useful to try to do that. Speaking of useful, this is not anything that's useful for the moment. So, how are you guys looking? Okay, fair enough there. I see my mistake. But you are getting towards Lvov, and I think you are regaining some of your organization and some strength and some infantry equipment. How are we looking on logistics? We are very shy on medium tanks and light tanks at this moment. Ooh, we do need to produce a lot more there. Especially on the medium tanks, I think. I think we can dial down a little bit on the hard armor here, on the heavy armor, I mean. And we do have really enough flam panzers, so let's get rid of that production. I think also supply equipment, we have so much support equipment, trucks. We really do have a lot of that, so let's dial down on that in favor of some more tanks. I should do that, of course, first, but I didn't. Okay, what are we producing now? Some transports here. 5. We can do a little bit less. Yeah, that's fine. One assigned divisions. Oh, we do have 2 more tank divisions. Well, that's lovely. Are we recruiting more? Is that part of the issue here? I think it is, right? Yeah, you guys have just started to recruit more. I don't want to do that. I just want basically 1 run of training here. That might free up enough stuff here. Well, not quite, but a little bit. So that's good. Come on, stop this attack. It's foolish. And you know it. What might not be foolish, though, is if we were to attack over here. Maybe drive into the enemy front line there a little bit. Are you actually already advancing? Well, that's lovely, isn't it? And we've got some troops here who are now trying to plug that gap. Which honestly I appreciate, because that might mean that we can send some troops around here and try to get in there. But yeah, you can see just how well they are containing all of this. Lovely to see. I like that. it's at least this is, you know, starting to be a little bit of a challenge again. So that part at least, you know, that's pretty good. Right, let's try to attack here further, so that we are maybe at least doing some small encirclement there, even though, you know, bits and pieces. Let's just briefly, lastly, look at the war itself. So we have lost 600 men, 500,000 of those to 600,000 men, 500,000 of these to the Soviets. Soviets lost twice as much. I'm not sure we can support that too long. What do we know about their army in particular? 313 divisions, 2.7 million men in the field. Honestly, a 2.1 ratio at this point to me doesn't seem to be too bad. I think we are doing comparatively fine. So that at least is good. Well, that being said, thank you very much for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed so far. Do leave a like and everything, and I hope to see you around next time. Bye bye.